So this demo that I'm going to do now is on hanging paper, a finished paper, which you haven't done yet, on the chimney breast. Okay. To find the centre of the chimney breast, we need to measure from corner to corner, find the centre. Okay, we need to find the centre because this paper is going to go directly in the centre. Once we've found the centre of the wall, what we do is we get our ruler, we measure the width of this paper. Now I'll tell you, this paper that we're hanging is a non-woven paper and it's actually a paste the wall. We're not going to paste the wall because we still need a bit of experience on pasting the paper. But what you don't have to do with this paper that you do with most is leave it to soak. So once it's pasted, that's it, it's ready to go on. So because it doesn't soak, it doesn't do what? It doesn't expand. Yeah, it doesn't expand. So it stays the same width. So you haven't got to add anything on for expansion. Okay, so this is 530. Now I want to hang this paper directly in the centre. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 530 and half it, which is 265. 265? 265? Are we going 265? Oh, I'll get your calculators out.
265.
Sorry.
What is it? 530? 530. 280.
Have we got a measurement yet?
280. 265. 280.
265, thank you. So from my centre line, I'm going to measure 265 there, and I'm going to put a mark on the wall at 265. Okay. Now I know that that's where my paper is going to start at 265, and that's going to centralise my paper. Okay?
How did you do that? Quickly.
I went, right, measured the width of the paper, yeah, found the centre of my chimney breast, then I measured the width of my paper, which is 530. So that's the centre of my chimney breast, so I've just got to half that really. Yeah. And once it's halved, which was 265, I put a mark at 265 there, and then I know that's going to be dead centre. It's going to be equal. Yeah. Obviously this is a plain paper, but if you're hanging a pattern paper, you need to make it equal for symmetry. Okay, it's a feature wall and you want symmetry. Alright, and we'll talk about that a bit more in level 2. So remember, this is a paste the wall paper. It's a non-woven. Non-woven is always straight on, it doesn't expand. So, but we're going to paste the paper. So I've already put my plumb line down, so I've found the measurement there and I've dropped my plumb line down. That's where I'm going to hang my paper. So I just want to show you something here that I've noticed on a few people's, and it's because of the brushes that we've got. Some of the hairs are coming out. If you don't see them because some are pale, before you actually put the paper on, you end up with a line like this. And if you've got a really fine paper, real thin paper, finished paper, that'll show through. But all you need to do is just get a bit of aluminium oxide and just sand across it. And what you'll do is you'll just cut through the paper until the hair either becomes visible and falls out, or it's just flat enough. Yeah? You do that with any little bumps, even if you've got the odd little overlap like here. Give it a light sand. And that's okay to go on, so it doesn't show through your finished paper. Alright? Okay. So, finished paper then. What you must do with finished paper, so you don't, especially one that's plain as this, so you don't hang it upside down, you must put a T on the top of each piece. Okay? If you don't put the T on, you might end up doing them upside down.
So is there an edge on this as well?
Yes, yes. Now and again you get one that's wound the wrong way around, but not often. Okay. So remember, face of the paper, the actual finish of the paper needs to be face up. So it's like that. Don't want to see any of you like this, like last time, and loads of tools and elbows and arms and legs on it, trying to keep it straight. Okay, so it wants to be face down, like that. Now, you can't mark this paper either, because it's a finished paper. So unlike your wood chip and the lining paper, you could draw on it, couldn't you? But you can't with this one. What you got to do is just hold on to the top with your ruler, or your tape measure, whichever you're using. Now on this measurement, I've got 2,350, and that's with me 100mm wastage as well. Alright, 50 top and bottom. So just move it across like that. Just holding your finger where the end of the ruler was, instead of using pencil. So here I'm going to get 2,350 there. Okay, so that's where I know I'm going to cut. That's just my thing I do, you don't have to do that, it's just what I do. And then you don't have to use a ruler either. Remember, you've got 50mm wastage top and bottom. You don't want to be at an angle, but don't want to be dead straight. Alright. Now, because you're using finishing papers, you get the face of this dirty, it's ruined. Paper is quite expensive, alright, finished papers. So always use the A-frame of your paste table to store it. Okay. So that's my first piece. What am I going to do now? What must I do with this first piece before I put any more?
See if it's on wall.
See what?
Offer it up.
Offer it up, yeah. I don't want to cut 2 or 3 rolls and find they're all too short, do I? So I'll offer it up. I think I'm only 50mm. Yeah, that's right. So take the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy off this. So it's no match paper. So there's no pattern to follow. How many metres in a roll of wallpaper?
10.
10, yeah. So how many lengths should I get out of this roll? Oh, yeah, because they're all under 250, aren't they? And there's no wastage because there's no pattern match. When we go to do patterns in level 2, then you'll find you've got wastage to deal with as well. Not with this one. It's just the same as your lining and your wood chip. What you've got to think about with this is the extra things, not using a pencil on it. Make sure you're putting it the right way up. How many what, sorry? How many lengths? I'm going to actually cut 4 and I'll show you why. Because my first length's going to go there. Second one, around the corner. Third one. And then the last length, I'm going to split and we're going to do the cutting off the small piece like we do along the board. Alright, so you should always check, because some chimney breasts, depending where you are, some might be wider than others, some might be more narrow. Don't assume that they're all the same. Keep your shears clean as well. Okay, they won't cut very well if they've got adhesive on them. So make sure you keep them clean. If you get them and they've got a bit of adhesive on, clean them before you start. So there. Yeah, so fall nicely. We save odd ends of paper if they're big enough to go under a door. If they're not, just put them in the bin. Yeah. If you were doing more than this, if you're doing the full room, you keep every piece like this, because it may go above a door frame or under a window. Maybe if you're going around a recessed window, you might just need a little bit. So while you're papering a room, always keep all these bits if you're doing a full room, because they will come useful. So, before I turn it over, I'm just going to do a fold like that. You warm as well, Sammy?
No, I was trying to
Oh,
get
don't
it.
sound warm.
It's on.
Again. Right, now I can turn it over. Okay, make sure your pastils are clean though before you do this. You will damage paper easily. This is quite a tough paper. Okay, non-woven, quite tough. Now, if you remember, I need to tee all the tops. Yeah, it's the same paper, but it will probably look odd if you put it upside down. Yeah, I've seen somebody put a willow tree upside down before, because what happened is, like you said, Lynn, is that they always come out the right way. I didn't. It was rolled the wrong way, so they put it on upside down, and it was a willow tree. And so always check your pattern, always look at your pattern. This was actually somebody on a painter as well. This wasn't someone in here, this was actually somebody on the job. So all my tops are teed, yeah. Now this paper isn't as wide as the paste table, so we need to protect the paste table. So all pieces go to the top, and just the first piece comes down to the bottom. Yeah. We're just using a cellulose adhesive in here, and that is because we don't want it to stick too much. If you was probably putting this on if you had a little job or if in your own home, you could put this on with a ready mixed adhesive, which is much stronger. Some decorators like to mix half and half, I do, because it gives you a little bit more slip and slide. But again, this is a paste the wall, so you can just paste the wall. But at this stage, obviously we're learning techniques on pasting the paper, so we'll stick to it, we just won't do the soaking. Alright, so another reason we don't use ready mix very often is because when we come to strip it in here, would spend forever. Has anybody had to strip the wallpaper off yet on top of the eggshell? None of you guys? But it comes off really easy.
I think Sean did, didn't he?
Yeah. So we do that because we like to make it easy for you, but if it was if you were doing it at home, you could put it on anything. Remember, get your hairs out, don't leave them in. You can't sand them out of a finished paper, which will ruin the paper. You can only sand them out of a lining paper. What type of fold am I going to do?
Wants to say there, innit?
2/3, 1/3.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, 2/3, 1/3. So basically, it's everything on the board. Line up the edges perfectly, so not just give a bit of a slide. Then, I'm not just going to drag this up the board, I'm going to pull this out a little bit more and pull this down, because if I just drag it up the board, I'm going to drag it over that pasted edge. See what you've got. Now you'll never ever see me try and paste when the board isn't fully covered. Okay. If I'm down to my last piece, I'll take it to the top. And the light, just in there, and then you 1/3 forward. Okay. So, because we don't have any soaking times with this one, I'm going to put this straight on. Obviously, with any others, you're going to find your soaking times on your information label. Right, yeah.
Does it make a massive difference in the finish if you just don't
No, no, it doesn't really, no. To paste the walls are very easy. Yeah, anyone can do them, really. There's more skill in pasting, folding, all this type of stuff that you're learning. There's more skill in that, all right? And these are the skills that you need to know. So I've got my bucket of water, and hop up. So 50ml, this is a really tough paper this is a really nice paper to work with. It's not like your wood chip, it's not like your lining paper. You'll probably see a massive difference with this. Okay, so again, have it like that, yeah, small fold to the back, bigger fold to the front. Fold 50ml down, and then just let the back go, just undo, let them fingers out, like that. Okay, I will say one thing as well, your floors need to be clean when you're doing this, because it's a finished paper, you don't want to dirty them. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to look at my plumb line, before I'm going to bang it on the wall, because I don't want to think, oh, I'll just bang it there and try and slide it, because you'll stretch the paper. So you're looking at your plumb line, like that, right, near enough there. Happy with that. Okay. So then, smoothing brush, straight down the middle, out to the sides. Don't put too much paste on this, because if you're going it on your pasting brush, you're going to put it on the face of your paper. Right. Now if you notice, I'm not going to cut the top yet, because if I cut the top and I get to the bottom and find I'm a little bit away from the skirting, I can't do anything with it. I can't salvage it. So a small, your 1/3 fold, out like that. Straight down the middle. Checking you're still on your plumb line. Put some pressure on this brush. You need to push that air out, and it's quite a strong paper, this one. So you need to push that pressure. Put some more pressure on this paper. Right. Get a sponge. I'm going to put there. Right, now the shears. Now what I'm not going to use here, well, actually you can if you want. Okay. I'm going to say I'm not going to use a pencil, because I would never use a pencil on a finished paper, but because you're sort of only just starting doing this, I don't mind if you do. Okay. So you can either do it one of two ways. You can get your shears like that, then you could just score or put a mark just on the paper like that. Okay, then you go down and cut along the edge. Or you can use your pencil, but make sure you're going up like that. You see, it's not right in the corner, it's just slightly up. And make sure you cut the pencil mark off. Okay, so that's one of two ways you can do it. So what I tend to do is I crease it, and then I follow the crease. So shears nice and clean, open wide, one long cut pointing towards the crease on the pencil line, whichever you're doing. That goes up there. If you haven't already, just knock in the bottom edge of this curving. Okay, it always looks better. Like a curving. Back, fold your pieces of paper up. Yeah. And push back once you've used your sponge. And that's that bit done. Yeah? Same on the bottom. When you come to level 2, you'll be able to use a board and a knife. Okay, but in level 1, we use shears. This won't tear easy like your lining papers and your wood chip. This is quite a tough paper. A board and a knife will always get a neater edge, but for level 1, we need to be using shears to get them skills. Okay, so that's your first piece on. We'll stop that bit there.